Today we're going to be working on some quick properties of logarithms. We're not going to be expected to evaluate them for each, but we're just going to be working on just the basic properties. And you see them up here as well. So if there's any sort of multiplication, you're going to expand your logarithm by adding. If there's any sort of division, you'll expand it by subtracting the denominator. And if you have any exponent, that will come in the front of your log. And we can go in the reverse as well. So if you see subtraction, we'll divide. Addition, multiply. Numbers on front, go back up. So let's work on just a few of these. I'll show the answer key at the end. So try to get used to some of these properties. So I'll take a look at this first one. So pause the video when you can. You notice that we have addition. We do have the logarithm in the same exact base. That's always super key in order to combining them. So we want to write log base 2. So we want to write one of them. And we're going to say 7 times 4. So we combine them through multiplication, not addition. So then we can go ahead and evaluate. So 7 times 4 is 28. Let's do it again with, try it again with number 2. Now I'm going to jump to number 3, because again, I'm going to be showing the answer key at the very end. So here we have addition. And again, it is the same exact base. We have addition, so we'll multiply 2x times 4x squared. So you get log base 4. 2 times 4 is 8. X times x squared is x cubed. So let's try number, let's see, expanding number 4. I'm not sure what they quite want. That is, from what I can tell, fully expanded here. Expand using the product property. Let's see, okay, so, I see. What they want is for us to break it up through multiplication. So what two numbers multiply up to 6 other than 1 and 6, I believe is what they're looking for. So that would be 2 times 3. And because you're multiplying here, we can say log 2 times log 3. I believe is what this worksheet is asking for. Let's try it again with number 5. And then again with number 6. Log base 2, we have 5 times its variable. So we have log of 5 times, plus log 2 times x. So anywhere there would be multiplication, we're going to break up your logarithms between the addition. Now let's go in the reverse. Let's try to condense these logarithms. So let's try to subtract. So with subtraction, right, again with subtraction, these are in the exact same bases. So we can write one base, so log base 3. And we're, instead of multiplying here, right, the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplication is division. So the one doing the subtraction is the one doing the dividing. So we can say log base 3 is 3. Now they're not going to ask us to evaluate here. If they were, we could figure out, okay, well, what would this come out to be? We can either use the swoop method or take the same base, but it just says 3 to the what power is equal to 3 here. Well, that would be to the first power. So this whole thing would end up being equal to 1. I would try it again with number 18. Number 8. I will do this one out because if we were asked to evaluate in the future, I want to make sure that we know how to do it. So 15 over 15, so we have log base 2 of 1. And if we were to curious and be like, well, what number does this actually come out to be? We can swoop or use the inverse property, but it just says 2 to the what power is equal to 1. Well, anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So 2 to the 0 is equal to 1. So that just means that this will be equal to 0. Let's try it one more time here with number 9. We got log base 4. There is subtraction, so we'll divide 9 and 2. So we're left with log of x to the 7th. log base 4 of x to the 7th. And that's as simplified as we can go. Now let's try it again here with your quotient property. I'll do number 12 here. That's probably the most useful one. So we have an m on top divided by a 7 on the bottom. So the 7 is doing the dividing, so we'll subtract the 7. And I'm going to do number 11 as well. So the 3 is doing the dividing. So 3, we have 1 minus log of 5 base 3. And again, if we wanted to evaluate this, keep in mind anything that has the 1 on the inside will come out to be equal to 0. So this whole thing is equal to 0. So our final answer, if asked to evaluate, is negative log of 5 or base 5 of 3. Now, let's try to condense it given that we have a number on the outside. So we have 5 times the logarithm base 4 of 2. So when you have a number that's on the outside, it's going to actually come all the way up and act as its exponent. So we have log base 4 of 2 to the 5th. Then we can go ahead and evaluate if it's asking for it in the future. So 2 to the 5 is 32. Then we can say, I think that's as far as we want to go. So we could say 4 to the what power is 32. Well, 32 and 4, well, you actually could do 32 and 4. So this would be your elementary case. So x2 for x is 32. So 2 squared times x is equal to 2 to the 5th. So x would be 5 over 2. And again, please watch a separate video on how to evaluate some of your elementary cases. I think on this worksheet, it is only asking for us to condense. So try number 14 as well. And I'm going to try 15. So you have a log base 10 of 8 to the 1/3. So this is just saying that the cubed root of 8, and I think again this worksheet is just looking for this response, but if we were to evaluate the whole way, right, 8, or the cubed root of 8, there are 3 2's found within it. So really we have log base 10 of 2. Now let's go in the reverse. So we want to, if we see any certain number, we're going to drag it out front. So this should be log, or 7 times log base 2 of 8. And again, for this one, we already have 3 on the outside, but now we're going to match it with the exponent. That whole thing comes down of log base 10 of 4. Now on this one, I think the answer key does distribute that 3, and that would not be its most simplified form. This would be probably its most simplified expression. And again, with this one, 18 log base 7, W has an exponent of 1/2. Please see videos before it on why it is 1/2. But again, we bring it out front. Or you can write it as log base 7 W over 2 as well. I'm going to show the answer key in case you were trying to pause the video to get some of the ones that we've missed. And you'll see that over here. Yeah, so they didn't fully evaluate some like this one. They didn't evaluate this. Let's see what else. They took this one a little bit further than we did. Same thing here with number 10. I think that was it as far as some of these went. Yeah, for number 5, they really expanded them a little bit further. The reason why they did this one 2 3's is that if you broke it up as log base 7 of 5 times 9, they just took it a step further as being 3 squared. Not super essential.